Okay, I'll let you know when that happens.
Sounds good. I'll be here whenever you're ready.
Okay, so let's talk about the the text that I sent you. You know, it has questions. It has multiple options for every question, and it is marked with the true options. So I want to talk about that. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be a quiz session. So you give me the questions, and then you provide me with the corresponding options that are available with that question in the text given, and then I will respond to your question, and then you need to reassure that if my answer is correct or incorrect, and then you need to move on to the next question. So that's how I want the conversation to follow.
Got it. Let's start with the first question. Assertion I. Reduplication and equiformation are two characteristics associated with South Asian languages. Assertion 2. A reduplicated expression may impart meaning entirely different from its non-reduplicated counterpart. Here are the options. 1. Both eyes were true. 2. Both eyes were false. 3. I is true and 2 is false. 4 is true and I is false. What's your answer?
Well, I think both are true, but I need more elaboration on why they are true and what they are actually. So reduplication is something like repetition of a sound. Echo formation, I don't know much about that, and yeah, that's very true that reduplicated expressions may impart a meaning that is entirely different from their non-reduplicated counterpart. So I don't need the explanation for the second assertion, but I do need the explanation for the first assertion, meaning I want you to explain what reduplication is, and I also want you to explain what echo formation is.
Sure. Reduplication is the repetition of a part or all of a word to create new meaning. For instance, in some South Asian languages, you might find words where a syllable or entire word is repeated to convey nuances like intensity or plurality. Echo formation involves repeating a part of the word or phrase to emphasize or modify its meaning. For example, in certain languages, repeating a word can show that something is happening continuously or in a repeated manner. So, for the first assertion, both reduplication and echo formation are indeed characteristics of South Asian languages. Does that help clarify things?
Can you exemplify both of the mechanisms, reduplication and echo formation?
Certainly. For reduplication, take the example of the word babu in Hindi. When you repeat it as babu babu, it can indicate a sense of endearment or emphasis, like calling someone affectionately. For echo formation, consider a word like kacha raw in Bengali. When you repeat it as kacha kacha, it often implies that something is not just raw, but very much so, or constantly raw. The echo here adds intensity or a continuous quality. Both mechanisms modify the meaning of the original term through repetition.
All right, let's move on to the next question, which is um, which is I don't know. Maybe you gotta wait for me to get there. So we have discussed semantics, interpretive semantics. We have discussed reduplication, and then the next is verb medial languages. So yeah, let's talk about that.
Got it. Here's the next question. Assertion I. Verb medial languages such as English and French have prepositions that occur to the left of the noun. Assertion 2. All verb final South Asian languages have postpositions that follow the noun. Here are the options. 1. Both I and 2 are true. 2. Both I and 2 are false. 3. I is true and 2 is false. Or 2 is true and I is false. What's your answer?
I think both are true.
Actually, the correct answer is that both I and II are true. Verb medial languages like English and French do use prepositions that come before the noun, while verb final South Asian languages typically use postpositions that follow the noun. Ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Great. Here's the next question. West Tibeto-Burman. 1. Bodo-Garo branch. 2. Baltic-Kanauri, locally. 4. Bodish and Himalayan subgroup. What's your answer?
Bodish and Himalayan subgroup.
That's correct. The West Tibeto-Burman languages include the Bodish and Himalayan subgroups. Let's move on to the next question.
Can you elaborate more on the West Tibeto-Burman languages and the Bodish and Himalayan subgroups? Like where are they spoken? You know, the region, specific region where they're spoken, something like that.
Certainly, the West Tibeto-Burman languages are primarily spoken in the Himalayan region and parts of northeastern India. The Bodish subgroup includes languages like Tibetan and Dzongkha, which are spoken in Tibet, Bhutan, and parts of northern India. The Himalayan subgroup includes languages spoken in the mountainous regions of Nepal and India, such as the Kanuri and Mehudi languages. These languages are known for their complex phonologies and rich linguistic features.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Munda and Monkmer are two principal groups of which language family? And I think the correct answer is Austro-Asiatic.
That's correct. Munda and Mon Khmer are indeed two principal groups of the Austro-Asiatic language family. Let's go to the next question.
Can you give me something like, can you exemplify more on Khmer and Munda languages? Like, can you give me specific words that are spoken in these languages?
Sure. Mon Khmer languages include Khmer, Cambodian, and Vietnamese. For example, in Khmer, the word for water is tuk, and in Vietnamese, it's bleu. Munda languages include Santali and Mundari, spoken in India. In Santali, water is vada, and in Mundari, it's vada as well. These languages are part of the Austro-Asiatic family and have distinct vocabularies and structures.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
Sure. Here's the next question. The Dravidian language spoken in the Balochistan province of Pakistan, and to a lesser extent in Sindh, is. The options are 1. Brahmi, 2. Group 3. Dangar Kolami. What's your answer?
Brahoi, please elaborate more on that before moving on to the next question.
Sure. The Dravidian language spoken in Balochistan and parts of Sindh is Brahmi. It is unique among Dravidian languages as it is geographically isolated from the other Dravidian languages primarily spoken in southern India. Brahmi is spoken by the Brahmi people and has several dialects. Kuruk and Kalami are other Dravidian languages, but are spoken in different regions of India. For example, Kuruk is spoken in central India, and Kalami in the central and southern parts of India. Does that help?
All right, let's move on to the next question.
Great. Here's the next question. The Old Indo-Aryan stage is said to extend from, the options are 1. 1500 BCE to 600 BCE, 2. 600 BCE to 1000 CE, 3. 600 BCE to 200 BCE, 4. 200 BCE to 200 CE. What's your answer?
1500 BCE to 600 BCE, but also, elaborate more on that, like something to remember, something to take away from from here.
That's right. The Old Indo-Aryan stage spans from approximately 1500 BCE to 600 BCE. This period is significant because it covers the time when the Vedic texts were composed, which which are foundational to understanding early Indo-Aryan languages and culture. During this period, Sanskrit emerged as a key language, and the earliest texts, like the Rig Veda, were written in Vedic Sanskrit. This era marks the development of many linguistic features that influenced later stages of Indo-Aryan languages. It's a crucial period for studying the evolution of South Asian languages and their scriptural traditions.
All right, moving on to the next question. In some languages, words typically contain a linear sequence of morph, and therefore these languages are known as agglutinative languages, right?
Yes, that's correct. Agglutinative languages feature a linear sequence of morphemes, where each morpheme typically represents a single grammatical function or meaning. This means words are often formed by stringing together a series of affixes to convey different aspects of meaning. Languages like Turkish, Finnish, and Swahili are examples of agglutinative languages. They use these sequences to build words and modify meanings systematically.
Now, the next question talks about the neo-grammarian doctrine. Let's move on to the next question, which is next to the neo-grammarian doctrine, and that is it talks about reduplication. So, in the reduplication, which forms the perfect tense in both Greek and Sanskrit, if the consonant is aspirated, the prepended consonant is unaspirated. This sound change is covered under the Grassmann's law. So, tell me more about that.
It looks like you're referring to Grassmann's law, not Grassmann's law. Grassmann's law is a phonological rule observed in ancient Greek and Sanskrit. It states that when a consonant is aspirated, like H or KH, in a reduplicated form of a word, the prepended consonant in the reduplication will be unaspirated. For instance, in Sanskrit, if you have an aspirated consonant in the root, the reduplication will use its non-aspirated counterpart. This rule helps maintain a consistent phonetic pattern across these languages and reflects how historical sound changes.
Now, the rearranging of sounds or syllables in a word or words in a sentence is known as metathesis, I believe. Yeah, yeah.
The rearranging of sounds or syllables in a word or words in a sentence is known as metathesis. This occurs when sounds or letters are swapped within a word or between words, often accidentally. For example, saying animal as aminal is an instance of metathesis.
The next social stratification of English was done by William Labov. Tell me more about that.
It seems like you might have mixed up the name. The correct name is William Labov. He is a prominent sociolinguist who is known for his work on the social stratification of English. Labov studied how language varies according to social factors like class, age, and ethnicity. His research, especially in New York City, demonstrated how different social groups use language differently and how these variations foundational in understanding how social factors influence language use.
Now, Himes rather, is associated with the concept of communicative competence. Tell me more about that.
Yes, Delhines is indeed associated with the concept of communicative competence. This idea expands beyond just knowing the grammatical rules of a language. It includes understanding how to use language appropriately in various social contexts. Communicative competence involves knowing not just the syntax and vocabulary, but also how to convey and interpret meanings in different situations, including understanding cultural norms, social roles, and conversational dynamics.
What does the this what
And the
does
ability to apply it appropriately in social interactions.
what do you mean when you say social dynamics? What's that?
Social dynamics refer to the ways in which people interact, communicate, and influence each other within a social context. It includes understanding roles, relationships, and cultural norms that affect communication. For example, how people adjust their language depending on whether they're speaking to a friend, a boss, or a stranger. Understanding these dynamics and appropriate for the situation.
Now, the next question talks about traditional dialectology. So, in traditional dialectology, the fieldwork methodology of the data collection involved the deliberate selection of non mobile, older people, and rural people. Now, elaborate more on that.
In traditional dialectology, researchers aim to study how language varies across different regions and social groups. To get accurate and representative data, they deliberately selected non-mobile older people from rural areas. The idea was that older people, who had spent most of their lives in one place, would have a more stable and traditional form of the dialect. Rural settings were chosen because they were thought to preserve language features better than urban areas, where languages might be influenced by other languages and dialects due to greater mobility and interaction. This approach aimed to capture a more pure or original form of the dialect before it was influenced by modern changes and external factors.
Now the next, the substitution of semantically inappropriate word, usually by a phonetically similar one, is known as what? So I think the answer here should be malapropism.
The substitution of a semantically inappropriate word with a phonetically similar one is known as malapropism. This occurs when someone mistakenly uses a word that sounds similar to the intended word but has a completely different meaning. Do you have an answer in mind, or would you like to discuss it further?
The correct answer is malapropism. But the thing is that I get very confused between malapropism and spoonerism, right?
It's understandable to get confused between the two. Here's a quick way to remember the difference. Malapropism is when a person uses a word that sounds similar to the one they intended, but has a different meaning, like saying pineapple instead of pinnacle. Spoonerism involves swapping the initial sounds of two words, like saying tease my ears instead of ease my tears. So, malapropisms involve wrong words with similar sounds, while spoonerisms involve sound swaps within phrases.
So spoonerism is more sensitive to sound swapping, swapping of the initial sounds. So initial sounds are swapped in spoonerism, whereas in malapropism, completely inaccurate or phonetically similar but semantically inaccurate word is used in malapropism, right?
Exactly. Spoonerisms focus on swapping sounds between words, especially the initial sounds, creating humorous or confusing results. Malapropisms involve using a word that sounds somewhat similar but is semantically incorrect, often leading to amusing or nonsensical statements.
Now, connectionism is the mental processing inspired by the physical connections among the brain cells. So, this is known as parallel distributed processing. Now, elaborate more on that. I want to know what that exactly is in simple terms so that I can remember that better.
Connectionism and parallel distributed processing refer to how our brains handle information. In simple terms, it's about how different parts of the brain work together simultaneously to process and store information. Imagine the brain as a network of interconnected nodes, like a web. When you think or learn something, multiple parts of this web are activated at once, not just in a linear or step by step fashion. This network approach helps the brain handle complex tasks more efficiently, much like how a computer might process multiple tasks at the same time using a network of processors.
Is there a thing called split brain operation?
Yes, there is. Split brain surgery is a procedure where the corpus callosum, the bundle of nerves connecting the two halves of the brain, is severed. This operation was historically performed to reduce severe epilepsy by preventing seizures from spreading between the brain's hemispheres. People who undergo this surgery can experience unique changes in how they process information and coordinate activities between the two sides of their brain. For instance, they might find that each hemisphere can function more independently than before.
All right, let's move on to the next question. The next question is about style.
Sure, here's the next question. Assertion I. The styles associated with particular activities are called registers. Assertion 2. Various occupations, areas of study, sports, and recreational pursuits have their own jargon. The options are 1. Both I and 2 are true. 2. I is true, but 2 is false. 3. Both I and 2 are false. 4. I is false, but 2 is true. What's your answer?
Both are true.
That's correct. Both statements are true. Registers refer to different styles or varieties of language used in specific contexts, like professional or academic settings. In different fields, like sports or various professions, indeed have their own jargon or specialized language. Let's move on to the next question.
Yes.
Here's the next question. The term digraph refers to, the options are 1. A pair of sounds representing a phoneme. 2. A pair of letters representing a grapheme. 3. A pair of letters. Jotted and AES.
हाँ 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 अपने हॉस्टल में हूँ। हाँ आ रहा हूँ वही हो। ठीक है आता हूँ। Digraph is a digraph is a pair of letters representing a phoneme.
Yes, that's correct. A digraph is a pair of letters that together represent a single phoneme, like shoe. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, let's move on to the next question. The next question is autism. Autism is so this is confusing. Like here, the options are spectrum disorder, language disorder, learning disorder, speech disorder. So what is the correct answer here?
The correct answer is spectrum disorder. Autism is classified as a spectrum disorder because it encompasses a range of conditions with varying levels of severity and types of symptoms. It affects communication, behavior, and social interactions in different ways for each individual.
The next move on to the next question. The next question is agrammatism. The agrammatism is basically, telegraphic speech. Probably the injury in the left hemisphere of the brain. Special group. Special group is register, association with register. And then idea. Idea is represented by a logograph.